Quest podcast. Yeah, we're switching it up. Give me 1 second. Let me fix my. I forgot this is the main screen. I am your host, Ruben Guerrero, and today I have with me the Core 4. It's good to be back, fellas. Good to be back. I have Mr. Splinter Cell himself, that strong nerd, Nick Eden. How's it going, Nick?
It's been about 2,700 days.
You've just lost count.
I don't know.
You've
I
given
know
up.
it's over 2,500.
Okay. All right. We also have our residential guardian. I don't know if that's a good term for it. I'm making these names up on the spot. Eric, how's it
Hey, what's
going?
up? I'm doing good.
Considering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
considering.
Okay. All right. How was your first time hosting? Did you?
I was. I mean, did I not? Did I sound good?
I mean, I think you did. Yes, I would say that you were
Okay.
pretty good with it. I'm checking to see how you felt about it.
It was good. Obviously, there were things I could fix, but next time.
Okay. There's always room for improvement, but I think you did pretty well.
Thank you.
No problem. And my co-host, Mr. JRPG himself, Ryan. How's it going, Ryan?
Doing pretty good. Excited for this one.
Yeah.
Feeling good about this episode.
Me too. Me too. So today's topic is the Spider-Man Miles Morales spoiler cast. Oh boy. Let's go around the room and talk about how we felt about this. Nick, what were your initial thoughts on after completing the game?
After completing the game, I pretty much liked the story.
Okay.
Not as much as the first one, the original 2018 one. But overall, it was okay. It was a good story. But I just feel like it was a little lackluster.
Okay, that's fine. Eric, how about you? What did you think of the story? Well,
Oh,
of the
just
game.
story
Sorry,
or the game in general?
the game
I
in
mean,
general.
the game's fantastic. I think it's a good showcase of what the PS5 can do right now. I mean, I don't have one, but from what I've seen, it's a pretty good indication of what it can do. I played it on my Pro. Looks great. Plays great, just like 2018 Spider-Man, and that's not a knock or anything because 2018 Spider-Man is one of the best playing games I've played in a long time. So I think this is a good entry into this Insomniac Spider-Verse, and I'm looking to see where they go from here.
Okay, Ryan, what did you think of Spider-Man Miles Morales?
As someone who has a lot of criticism towards the 2018 Spider-Man game, this game took away all of those. I absolutely loved it. If it wasn't for such a stacked year, this would be one of my top 5 games of the year.
Whoa.
Damn.
This is a fantastic game, a fantastic launch title. We'll get more into that later though when we talk about some of the things the PS5 added.
Yes. I thought I'm more in line with Nick about yes, it was a great game. However, there were things that they did with this story that I saw from a mile away, and I wish that they didn't do it. But
Mhm.
it is what it is. I really enjoyed it. It was a great. It was a really great game. I can't lie. It was really great. How do we want to do this, guys? Where should we start? What were the problems that you had with it, Nick?
My problems with it was I felt like I can't really knock it for being short because it was meant to be a shorter experience. I would say my biggest criticism with this game would have to be it's the story, to be honest. I mean, I didn't really vibe with any of the characters like how I did with the original game. I
Mm-hmm.
love Miles Morales. In the comics, in Spider-Verse, also in this game, but I just feel like I don't know how to explain it. He just didn't. I just didn't vibe with any characters. That's pretty much all I can really say.
Okay. I'm surprised. Not even Spider Cat.
I mean, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, I was about to say that I did love Spider-Man, aka the cat from the bodega shop. But after maybe like an hour of having that suit on, the meowing got annoying. He just constantly meows like every 10, 15 seconds on a loop. I needed to get I took it off.
Okay. Eric, were your not negative points, but what were your what's the word I'm looking for here? What did you have a problem with?
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Some of the things I think Krieger, was it Krieger or Kruger?
I think it
See,
was
I've already
Krieger.
forgotten his
Yeah,
name.
I think it was Krieger.
He was definitely really weak. It had the whole, you remember, just corporations are bad deal coming off from him.
Yeah.
Didn't really add much to it. I don't know why they got Troy Baker for that.
Oh, I didn't
Could've
even
gone-
notice it was
Could
Troy.
have gone to anybody else. I just don't know
Troy?
why.
Didn't
Like,
even-
obviously,
I love you being sarcastic, Ruben and Ryan.
No,
No,
I really didn't notice it was Troy.
I mean, sure, Troy's fine in it. Also, while Harlem is great, like everything in Harlem is fantastic, like how it's designed and everything. I feel as though like just the rest of the city of New York was just like, hey, just put Christmas on it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Whereas, again, like Nick said, this is a shorter game. We knew it was going to be a shorter game, and so I felt as though like in 2018, I'm sure they had like a bigger budget for it, but like everywhere felt different. Like it was nice, like going around in Greenwich and seeing the Sanctum Sanctorum and Pete talking about that. Whereas in this one, if you weren't in Harlem, I didn't feel anything really. It was just, oh look, it's New York Christmas time. That's about it.
Okay.
And I think like I thought the length was perfect. I platinumed the whole game in like a weekend.
As you should
If
have.
I just played it straight. So, and let's see what else. That's about all my big critiques I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Ryan, did you have any critiques?
Yeah. I also agree with Eric here that I think we are starting to play out the corporation is bad corporation story in the Spider-Man games
Yeah.
and Spider-Man in general. And I had some problems with the pacing of the story a little bit. That was my only thing. Is
Okay.
for the length of it, I had some things where I was like, you slow down at weird places to just speed through a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I didn't have much of a problems with it. But I do think the story, just for the part of like what Rexon, right?
Yeah.
Roxxon.
Roxanne.
The whole Rexon part of it was, take it or leave it. Like evil billionaire is evil.
Okay. I really had a problem of the main villain, which was I even forgot what it was. It was
The Tinkerer?
The
Tinkerer. I immediately knew who the Tinkerer was as soon as they introduced the character, and I hate when that happens. I think that Spider-Man 2018 did it better in the sense that, I already knew, like, I knew Otto was going to become a bad guy. I just didn't know which game it was going to happen in, if that makes sense. And I feel like they were like, hey, if it worked for 2018, why not have it try to see if we can work for Miles Morales? Which goes back to like, oh, they're just recycling stuff. And I don't think that they're just recycling stuff. I just think that this wasn't going to be, how do I put this? I don't think that this was supposed to be a standalone game. I think that they were going to put this in Spider-Man 2 or whatever it's going to be called. And Sony was like, hey, we could use some Insomniac magic. Can you make anything happen? And they were like, sure. But that's pretty much the only thing I had a critique about. Everything else about this game was great. I liked the it was the guy in the chair with I forgot Miles' friend's name.
Gank.
Yeah. Him, the relationship between them two was really great, especially when you were in the Roxxon headquarters. Not headquarters, but like the, you know what I'm talking about. Those
Yeah,
missions.
yeah.
Those, I really enjoyed that. I liked
Gonki, excuse me. See, I think it's Gonki. I'll look it
I
up.
think it's Genki.
Genki. Yeah, that's what it is.
Genki.
Genki.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Genki.
I oh no, there was one other thing I had a problem with. Prowler. I hated that fucking suit. Hated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the Prowler suit.
I just did not find it to be.
Wait, you didn't like the Prowler, or you didn't like the suit?
No, I didn't like the suit, which
Okay.
is another like, oh, it's visually aesthetic thing, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked what they did with the Prowler. I think they took some things from Spider-Verse and not twisted it, but I feel like there's definitely some things in Spider-Verse where they're like, oh, that could work in this game. Let's use that, which was fine by me. Nick, what were some positives that you had for this game?
The gameplay. I mean, just basically swinging from comparing to the 2018 version to this one, swinging just felt a lot more smooth. It might have just been because I was playing on the PS5 with the 60 frames per second, which made it feel a lot smoother.
Okay.
But I really like the way how Miles himself, the character model, would like do those little moves, the famous upside down. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's in
Yeah, you know.
the movie.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
And that was really nice. What you guys were explaining right now, the relationship with Genki. I mean, I didn't, like I said before, I didn't really vibe with anybody in this video game,
Yeah.
but that relationship was kind of cute. I really did like how there was this one throwaway line where Genki thanked Miles for letting him stay over Christmas break, and they were just there having, I believe it was Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
And then if there was in the beginning of the game, during that same scene where he was in the restroom looking for some cleaning supplies to clean up his mess that he made in the kitchen, you could just continuously hit triangle for more dialogue between the two. I really like when the games
Oh,
do that.
I didn't notice that.
And yeah, you can just keep talking to him. It's maybe like 5 times.
Okay.
And just stuff like that I really enjoy. The dialogue. I mean, what other I did not like the ending. The ending was kind of weird. Like
Yeah.
how they just kind of you just made her kind of switch motives, I guess. I don't know. Like she was kind of all hell bent to destroy the city or
Yeah.
the building. And then she just like, you know what, never mind. And what I'm really curious about is how they're gonna go with the future of this series. Are they gonna stay in New York? Are they I mean they kinda have to because of this Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not Spider-Man without New York.
Yep.
And who we're gonna play as in the sequel. I don't know if we'll play both Miles and Peter. That'd be pretty dope. But yeah, those are my impressions.
Okay. Eric, what were some positives that you had of this game?
So banking off some of the negative things you talked about, I thought the uh, Tinker was a positive because the best Spider-Man stories are ones where Spider-Man and their alter ego collide.
Yeah.
So in 2018, you got Lee works with Feast,
Mhm.
helps his Aunt May, also a supervillain, so Pete has to deal with that. The fact that Oscorp was just so heavily involved in everything also makes it great, and the fact that Norman was the mayor also added an interesting dynamic we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So those stories are always great. So when we find out that Tinkerer is Finn, it's it adds an extra layer of how does Miles deal with this, and I thought they did a really good job. It's oh, camera kind of bumped there.
It's all right.
It was great how we've all experienced something like this where we're kind of thrown into something that we're not really ready for. And that's what happened with Miles here. Like he wasn't ready. so to speak, to be the city's only Spider-Man, but it happened.
Yeah.
This is him now. And so we've all had that. We've kind of all had to have greatness like thrust upon us at one point or another, whether it's like a new job or something. And so I thought that they did a fantastic job of just showing just the learning pains that Miles has to go through. Like he destroyed the bridge
Yeah.
in the beginning of the game. There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. His failure to control his powers causes destruction, and so that's just stuff he has to deal with. So I think the story is probably the biggest positive of this game. The gameplay, like I said, feels really good. They just added all the extra Venom stuff and camouflage abilities. I will say it's going to be tough playing as Peter and not being able to turn invisible whenever I want to. That's going to be challenging. But I think that where we are now with the Spider-Man universe, like the sequel is going to be outstanding.
Let's hope. Ryan, what were some positives that you had about this game?
So I'm gonna jump off what Eric said there. I'm gonna go into the combat and that kind of thing. I never felt like stealth was a good option in 2018 Spider-Man.
Yep.
But the ability to go invisible in this made stealth such a fantastic option. And then usually when stealth's a good option, going loud isn't. But the electricity powers also made going loud fun. The ability to have all these, it added one more layer to that combat that wasn't so just press square and dodge. So you had a little bit more to work with there that I really enjoyed. I also, like Eric, think that the story is a major positive, that it was fantastic. I loved all the characters, all that. But for me, what I think was my big positive on this game was the ending fight was actually fun. The Battle of Tinkerer was fun and good and not quick time events.
Yeah, it was
Dr.
better than the Doc Ock.
Octavius.
Yeah, it was way better than the Doc Ock fight.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I think Doc Ock was way better than this.
Yeah, I agree with Ruben.
I hate the Doc Ock fight.
There were just moments where you had to just swing around, and that was.
The only reason I would say Doc Ock was better than this fight was just because, like, the emotional conversation that was taking place. I guess I think it was after Doc Ock's fight, where he's like, "I know it's you, Peter." Like, just yeah.
And then that's when you do the side on the side of the building fight.
Yeah, and that's when you're like, you don't want to do this, but you have to take him down.
It's raining, it's dark outside, all the emotional.
This was just like, I feel like she was throwing a tantrum and like she wasn't really listening to. No, I'm being serious. Like it felt like she was throwing a tantrum because she wasn't going to get her way and she wouldn't listen to reason.
Well, she did kind of lose a family member, so I kind of
true, but like I get both sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like if she had just listened to Miles for like the 37,000 times he's saying, "Hey, this is gonna blow up all of fucking Harlem. Don't do this." But she's just
the very end, she finally realized.
Yeah, and then she dies.
I just didn't like that.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan, to cut you off. Continue.
No. I'm glad we're having a discussion here. Because I personally think the Doc Ock fight is what makes the Spider-Man from a 9 to a 7 for me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, just the fight itself?
I've gone into this before on this podcast that Spider-Man 2018 has a great villain that should have been way more. I would have wished they never added Doc Ock and gave him his whole game to kind of get a story, and they didn't rush it at the end of that being Mr. Negative. I would have loved it was just Mr. Negative that whole game, and we really got into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see why. I could see how that would have been better.
Like slow burn it.
Yes, I agree. But
like
I still love this game.
Have a end cutscene like this game did, where it shows, let's say, him building the octopus, like having his arms like hit something and break it.
Yep,
that would have been great.
Would have been real great.
But
they kind of.
Yeah, Nick.
They implied in the Spider-Man 2018 that Octavius was kind of like already like dying. Not dying, but like losing his motor functions. So I don't think they could have put him in the sequel, in my opinion. But I mean, maybe you're right.
I think you could have built him a different type of suit, almost do a unique type of suit for that.
Yeah,
But
just like an exosuit.
For positives for this game though, other than combat and story, for me was just the PS5 little things the PS5 added. To one, being able to play at 60,
Oh my
which
god,
for both of them is magical.
it's a
And
drastic change.
I never noticed the difference until then.
the little vibrations of the use of haptic feedback, which a search one about haptic feedback. Some people call it gimmick, some people call it whatever. It is when it hits right, it hits right. Like I noticed it with the fist bump that your uncle gives you when he's in a prowler suit and you go off. Just a little bit of it. When you get a high five or something swinging past, just that little hit. Like, oh, that's nice. This is what we wanted here.
Yeah.
Combat for electricity powers, it was sweet. Yeah, no, I just really loved this game. I thought it was a great launch title.
Okay. Yeah, definitely a great launch title. I think while I do have some negatives for the game, Insomniac definitely knows how to make a good story, and I would say make a good Spider-Man game because, like everybody has said, the gameplay is amazing, and it's just it's so good. Eric, I brought up a question a while back on an old episode, and I had asked, where does that's not even it. Where does Miles fit in the future games?
Mm-hmm.
And you had an answer for me, but you didn't want to spoil it. So
I don't. Oh my god, I don't remember this. Well, I just think what they can do going forward now with this sequel is they can GTA 5 it, probably.
okay.
And you can choose whether you want to play as Peter or Miles going forward. I think that's the next logical step in this. I think there are definitely going to be story beats where you're going to be playing one or the other.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, you live close to there. New York is pretty big, so it definitely can have two Spider-Men
Yes.
swinging around. And I definitely think, especially if this is Venom we're about to deal with, I think having two Spider-Men would be very beneficial.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be that extra added layer of it's going to be Harry, possibly. So, well, probably yes. It's going to be Harry. So Peter's going to have to deal with that. He's not going to be thinking straight, and so Miles may be able to help him out with thinking clearly. And yeah, I think that's where they go next with this. A lot of people are saying maybe add Spider Gwen into this eventually and have a Spider Gwen game. I think it's just they have so many ways they can go now.
Yeah. Okay. Good
I have an
answer. Yes, Nick. What's your opinion?
I feel for a prediction really. I feel like with the whole Miles Morales' electricity powers is called Venom in the game. I don't how are they gonna have Harry be Venom, the actual character Venom, if they're calling Miles powers Venom? You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking is gonna end up happening is I don't think Harry's gonna be Venom. I think he's gonna be like another entire character.
Okay.
I don't know what. And then what I think is gonna happen is you're gonna be playing as Peter Parker in the beginning of the sequel. You're gonna fight Harry. He's not gonna be focused. He's gonna end up dying, and you're gonna be playing Miles Morales moving
Wow.
forward.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because I just think that, or I think if it is Venom that Harry is turning into, Peter Parker's gonna get the Venom on him, get the black suit, which has not been in any of the Spider-Man games as a unlockable suit,
Nope.
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because they did put in the Sam Raimi costume, they put the Tom Holland, they put the Andrew Garfield costume in there, but not the black suit Venom, which is kind of weird. So what I think is going to happen is Peter Parker is going to get the Black Venom suit in the game, but he's going to be the enemy. So I don't know. It might be Harry and Peter Parker versus Miles Morales, or Peter dies, or I don't know.
Okay.
Damn.
Huh. Wow, that's a pretty good prediction.
Okay.
It could happen. Ryan, do you have
I just feel like it's kind of weird that they haven't put the black suit in the game.
Well, yeah, we know
So,
why they
I'm-
haven't put the black suit. Exactly, it's exactly what you said. That
Because it's Venom. Venom, which is
exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like that's the obvious choice.
Okay. Ryan,
I do. I think that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Mine is. It's obviously Venom's the next villain. Obvious, and I think that how you said along that it won't be Venom. I think there's going to be a joke about that, like a quick quip, like that kind of thing, type deal.
Yeah.
But why I think it's going is Venom will be. I mean, it is going the GTA 5 route of we're going to be switching characters freely, and then for story parts, we're going to. I think that for the first half of that game, you will be fighting Venom and hunting him down, and then you'll finally get control of like using what I think this game did for the Prowler side quest, where you use sound. And like how that is then tied to now Miles and that kind of thing. I think that will be used, like that kind of mini game type deal will be used to fight Venom, because of course he's weak to sound. And then I think Venom will be playable. I'm calling playable Venom, and Green Goblin is going to be the main villain of the next Spider-Man game.
Wow.
Oh man.
Okay.
Because you have a
Goblin.
It's got to be his dad.
Norman, the 60 to 70-year-old dude.
Well,
I
why
feel like
not?
Harry's
I
gonna.
think it's going to be full like metal, like movie style, like Goblin,
Like
I
Power
think it's gonna be
Rangers,
an
dude?
exosuit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Get
I think it's gonna be a
Willem
Power
Dafoe back.
Rangers exosuit. Not like rubber mask, but like exosuit type deal.
I would have said
Like
Sam Raimi, Green Goblin.
That's what he's talking
that's what I
about.
said. I said movie Goblin.
Oh, I heard him say. I heard you say Power Ranger. I was like, wait, why? Power
No, like
Ranger?
the Power
Yeah.
Ranger
That
suit.
doesn't look like a
From
Power
like
Ranger.
Because it looks like a Power Ranger. suit.
Gotcha. My apologies.
Oh no, it's gonna look like Raimi, and that's what I'm calling.
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna look a little bit more realistic. I don't think it's gonna look like a Power Ranger.
Well, you never
villain.
know. Vulture still looks like
I
a
just feel
vulture,
like-
you know.
I feel like maybe Harry's gonna be the Green Goblin, and then because of all his medical procedures, his face is gonna be kind of deformed. He might not even be wearing a mask. His face might just look like a goblin itself.
So
A little
wait,
bit more
you think that he's gonna be Venom first, and then become?
I don't think he's
Green
gonna be
Goblin?
Venom. I don't think
that's
he's gonna
right.
be
My
Venom.
apologies. Yes,
They're calling Miles Morales' electricity powers Venom. And he's
Okay.
the Venom character going
Okay.
around. I feel like I didn't even think about it. Like I said before, I feel like he's gonna be a villain that we don't know yet. But since Ryan did mention the Green Goblin, I mean that would be the perfect fit. He's probably gonna be the Green Goblin. All the black goo that's going on top of the canister that he's in, I feel like that might just be like a little. Oh, is that Venom? I don't know, but I don't think it is.
I mean, we've seen it. We already know it's Venom, you know. But
Oh, like that.
you
Have
could
we,
be
though?
right.
Have we? Though?
Wait. Hold on. You could be right. It could just be used for healing purposes, and then he comes back and he's got to use some medication, and that turns him into Green Goblin. You could be right.
like this.
Do you see?
Spider-Man
Do
way.
you see them being a Venom bad guy, Harry, while they're calling Miles' powers Venom at the same
Absolutely.
time? Do you see that happening?
Yeah.
Really?
100%.
That's
I
kind of
think-
weird.
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird to me that there's two Spider-Men in the same city, in the same universe. So yeah, anything's possible. I think
As soon as they named it Venom, like, oh, what should we call it? Venom. Like I was like, all right, well there goes the Venom possibility of Harry going out the window.
but that's what it is
That's
in the
what I-
comics, though.
Well, it
I
could
understand.
be.
No, they don't call it Venom.
They call his powers Venom. Venom powers.
No, they don't.
Venom shock.
No, they don't.
Veno shock.
Oh,
Zappy
they
Puffs.
don't call it Venom.
What do they call it in the comics?
I don't know. I just know it's not Venom.
I'm pretty sure it is
Look it
Venom,
up.
though. Okay, I'll
Look,
look it
it's
up.
not. I'm 100% sure it's not
Okay.
Venom powers.
I'm
Alright.
on it. I'm on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna let y'all fight about this. I know the answer. I'm just letting you. This is fun.
Okay.
Eric, let us know. Is it Venom?
Yeah, it's Venom Blasts.
Really?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah, look
they
at
could
that.
do with this whole thing is it could be a situation like in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, or hell, even the Venom movie, where Harry is Venom. Like, he's such a recognizable character that we don't need to call him by his name. Like, you see the symbiote and you go, oh, look, it's Venom, but he doesn't call himself that. And so that could be a way they get around it, where throughout the game he's becoming more and more pulled apart by the symbiote mentally. So there's that. Also, thing we didn't mention, definitely going to have the lizard in this next game,
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
that.
with Kirk Connors
Yeah.
at the thing. So I think that's going to be great. There's just
feel-
so many villains that could go with, and you got the raft. Like, Kingpin was doing stuff in the raft in this game, so he could get out.
Mhm.
Some might
There's so
say.
many.
Sorry,
There's
continue.
there's so many avenues that they can go with this. I definitely think, though, Peter Parker will be the main one. I think Miles will be stuff on the side because people do like Miles, but this is still definitely going to be Peter's story, because they've mentioned that. They've mentioned, like, the next game is still about Peter.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was Tim Geddes who said, like, they could do a cool thing where, like, every other year, every other game is set around one of the Spider-Man, because I think we're definitely going to get a Miles sequel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they could work around it. But yeah, there's so many different ways. I don't want them to go Spider-Verse with this, not yet.
Okay.
I still
Mm.
think that there's a lot of grounded stories that they could tell. Especially, I mean, the only way we have two Spider-Man right now typically is like cartoons and movie. We haven't really seen it in a game before, so
Yeah.
I think definitely could be interesting. I'm excited to see where they go.
So my theory is yes, Harry is Venom in the next game. I think Peter is going to be fighting Venom while Kingpin actually gets out of jail next game. And Miles is focusing on Kingpin while Peter's trying to focus on Harry. And Harry defeats Peter and the Venom suit takes over, and Harry is now trying to help Miles defeat the
Carnage.
symbiote. I don't think you guys are adding way too many people in this. Way too many bad guys in this.
I mean, they did the Sinister Six in the first game.
They
could go
did, but
anywhere.
like they were really minor characters. You're talking about not minor
And
characters.
that was a problem.
No. I feel like there's always going to be one major villain, and I don't see them using Green Goblin as one of the people. Like, they've been setting up Venom for the past two games. Why not? Why set him up for the past two games only just to tear him down, and not use him as a big bad?
Yeah.
He's gonna be an ally.
I call him playable.
Green Goblin as a playable character.
Let's get New Goblin from Spider-Man 3
I-
as a playable character. You can do that in the
that's-
Spider-Man 3 game.
This is true. However, that was it really Green Goblin? I think it was Hobgoblin.
No, he was not Hobgoblin. We've had this discussion before.
Wait, James Franco wasn't Hobgoblin?
No, he wasn't
No,
Hobgoblin.
he was New Goblin.
He was New Goblin.
What?
It was Hobgoblin. Come on.
It was not, dude, go
It was
look it up.
Hobgoblin.
It's not Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin is a character. I remember it from.
Hobgoblin is a character,
Okay,
yes, but
alright.
Hobgoblin also is orange.
I mean, yeah, but like, who
He is
cares?
bright orange and purple.
It's also voiced by Mark Hamill, I think, in the 1994 Spider-Man cartoon, which was great.
Was
He
it
is.
really?
Yep.
The Hobgoblin or the Green Goblin?
Hobgoblin.
Hob.
I'm pretty sure it was Hobgoblin. Yeah. But yeah, it's
Pretty
two completely different goblins.
You son of a bitch. You're right.
When it comes to Spider-Man, I typically am Ruben.
Okay. All right. My apologies.
No, I definitely see what was great about the Sinister Six is like Spider-Man has been a property that people know of. It's something like, okay, anywhere in the world you see a picture of Spider-Man and you know who that is. Like that's Spider-Man.
Correct.
And like these villains have become so ingrained in our pop culture with the movies and everything that they didn't really need to show other than, hey, look, Vulture and Electro are breaking out of prison. Okay, that typically is what happens in a Spider-Man story.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they didn't have to, really go into Vulture and Electro's psyche. It was the main crux of the story was Peter's mentor is,
No, bad guy.
going bad, because all it comes back to is Oscorp. And like Oscorp was indirectly the villain of the story because Oscorp was ruining all these people's lives, and not in just a, hey, look, I'm a corporation way. It was just, look, I'm taking your funding. Like, I can't do this anymore. And then when you have just a life changing, altering event like him, was it muscular dystrophy? I think Otto was getting.
Yeah.
I
That
And
sounds
believe
about
so
right.
so.
that, just like with Finn, you're going to have a moment in your life where you're not thinking clearly and you want revenge. And so you're not going to listen to reason. And which is why it was important, like why that conversation with Peter and Otto at the end was so powerful, is because, like, look, I look up to you and all this stuff, and you're doing all these terrible things right now. You're supposed to be like a good, smart man. You're supposed to, be decent, but this is not you.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because Miles is fairly new. So Miles, there's not a lot of history there
Mhm.
in terms with Peter, in relative terms with Peter. So I think that Insomniac is really, they can create, I mean, they create their own stories, but they have a little more leniency kind of with Miles. They can do more crazy stuff, which is why it's cool that they're making Harry possibly Venom, because haven't really seen that before.
No, we have not. It's very exciting.
It is.
Did we have anything else we wanted to discuss? I'm opening up the floor for.
Soundtrack is dope.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Music. My type of music right there.
Yeah, like the trap beats when you're swinging around New York City was
Yeah.
fantastic. The animation style of Miles swinging was really cool too. It's like, props to the animation department for making two characters, two Spider-Men, play completely different. Like Miles was more loose and everything with his swinging,
Yeah.
a lot more graceful, and Peter is very precise. Like, I've been doing this for a long time. I know what I have to do right here. So yeah, I thought it was great. Give me more trap beats in Spider-Man. That was great.
Okay. Anybody
yeah.
else? That's
I
it.
think we're all excited for this.
Let me
Say
think
that
here.
one more time, Nick.
I think we're all excited for the sequel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Here's my question. When do you think we get the sequel?
2022.
Yeah, I'd say about 22. Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
Because this will, I think the next Spider-Man game will be a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's not gonna be cross-generational. So
No.
you got to give more time to get the install base up. So.
The question is,
Oh yeah.
will they just change Miles's face next game?
No, no. But speaking of Miles' face, I thought Najee Jeter did a fantastic job as Miles.
Absolutely. A phenomenal job. I think
100%.
the scenes with his mom is the one where she finds out that he's Miles and she's just like cheering
Like,
him
she
on.
finds out that Miles is Miles.
Sorry, that he's Spider-Man. The fact that she's not like,
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? You're gonna kill yourself. Like, don't go out there. You don't need to do this. But instead of, she's supporting him with it, and I really like that part. That really hit my heart, soft spot. Yeah.
Nice.
Also, I think another thing we need to talk about is how wonderful the representation is in this game.
Absolutely.
100%.
A lot of cool barriers, just not cool. I don't know why I say cool barriers.
Cool
A lot of
barriers because they were
A
cool.
lot of barriers like being broken. Like Haley, she was great. I want her
Yeah.
in more games. Like I thought she was fantastic. I thought it was cute whenever her and
Mhm.
Miles were on screen together.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very nice. Again, like this is me talking as a white guy. Like seeing all the nice different types of culture in Harlem was fascinating, and need more of that. Definitely need
Yes.
more of that.
Definitely need more of that.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Into
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna go off of what Eric talked about. I just think a lot of the side quests in general were just fantastic in this game. They were all just to get all the suits and everything. They were just really fun and really, again, a lot of barriers breaking and all that kind of thing. They were really good.
Yeah,
It added to what?
Oh.
How long was the game for you guys? About 8 hours, 9 hours.
Doing everything, I think, to get plat was like 15, 20 hours for me.
Yeah.
I think mine was like 10 to 15 hours. Yeah.
It took me 15 hours, yeah.
I did like the fact that the side quests were changed up a little bit, like everybody's been saying. Yeah, it wasn't the same side quest 15,000 times that you needed it.
Shout out to that app.
Yeah,
Shout out to the app.
the app was pretty cool. I like
great-
that.
The app was
Great
fun.
tool.
One
Especially,
thing-
like when you're. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like especially with like when you're playing Spider-Man and the first one, and you're trying to get the trophy, the platinum trophy, and you had to stop like 5 demon crimes and 5 other crimes.
So annoying.
Yeah, you had to luck out. Whereas in this one, it's like, oh, I need to stop an armed robbery, and you can just click on it, and one will appear.
Yep.
I thought that was very great. Especially with like all the flack that Insomniac got back in 2018 for
Those puddles.
Peter's over reliance, like working with the police force.
Yeah.
Some people didn't really like that, so I thought this was a nice evolution into making it more community, and because that's what the biggest like Miles game is about community. And like having that app and everyone helping each other out and looking out for each other was fantastic. So from a gameplay perspective, it was really good, and from a thematics perspective, I thought the crime app was fantastic.
Yeah. I did want to speak of one thing. Where do we think the DLC is going to fit into the next game? Not the DLC for Miles, but the DLC for 2018. You have Yuri just off the fucking rails.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You
She's
have...
Punisher.
Could you imagine? Or even better, Ghost Rider? That would be great.
I see her as the Punisher. I'm not joking. I mean, she's a cop. She's an ex-cop.
No, yeah,
now,
it makes sense. That would
killed some bad guy.
That could be an interesting turn, where she just becomes the
girl
Punisher. Yeah.
I just played the DLC to get the trophies just this past weekend, and those audio logs that you find of her speaking to the therapist.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys follow that storyline.
Yeah.
It's not really a therapist. That was probably the best thing out of the entire whole Spider-Man 2018 game, in my opinion. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
And to see where that's going to go in the future games, that's very exciting.
People really did not like that DLC pack, and not DLC pack, but like that DLC, and I was really not weirded out, but like I was wondering why people didn't like it, because for me it was probably top tier. Like I can't. There was one that had to deal with Black Cat, and the other one I don't even remember what it was.
It was Silver Sable was the last one.
That's right, Silver Sable. It's just
I'm ready for her back. Whew.
Yeah, and Black Cat. Black Cat was the Rock's on. I found it weird that she was a part of Rock. Well, one of the people that they employ.
Well, she does like to play both sides.
Apparently, yeah.
What were your favorite suits? What was everyone's favorite suits in this game? Because a big part of Spider-Man games is the suits.
Absolutely.
Into the Spider-Verse suit withstanding, because obviously that's the best suit.
Yeah.
You see, I liked it for like a good 5-10 minutes, and then my eyes started hurting.
Did you use the Vibe?
Yeah,
Mod?
yeah.
I did too. I thought I would get tired of it, and I didn't. It was
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. It's so great.
I like the one. Say that again, Nick.
Go ahead. You go.
No, go ahead. I got to figure out which one I'm talking about.
I like the futuristic one with the LED lights for the eyes.
Oh, the Daft
The one that
Punk
looks
one.
like a Daft Punk helmet.
Yeah.
The LED on the shoes. That was really dope.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
What was that? That was the 2020 suit, right?
Yeah, 2029 or whatever.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? Which one did you like?
Ooh. Again, I was a fan of the Prowler, so I really like the Prowler suit. I was a big fan of that one, and
spit
the
take
black and gold. God, the black and gold suit is gorgeous. The black excellence suit is fantastic.
I
That was a good
liked
suit.
the Crimson Cowl one.
That was.
The one.
There were
with-
a lot of suits in this game that they created their own selves. Like that sounded weird. That Insomniac made.
Yeah, and
Like, this was the first game that they showed up in.
I'm fine with that. They can continue to do that if they want, because that was really creative. I really like that.
Mhm.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It wasn't the Crimson Cowl one that I liked. I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm trying to figure it out which one it is. Hold on. Give me a second.
What did it look like?
It was just him in the hoodie, the end suit,
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
where
I
it
like
looked
that one.
like a little military-ish, but yeah.
Yeah, it was an older Miles. That's from a future.
Gotcha.
An old Miles.
Okay. Yeah.
I-
What was
I
your
also
favorite,
like the-
Eric?
I mean, Into the Spider. I love that one the most, but I really like the classic suit. I think it's great. When I played 2018 and this one, I play the suits like thematically. So I had the starting suit, and then I played the advanced suit the rest of the way. Did the same thing in this one. I did all the suits that the story showed, and then New Game Plus, I just fiddled around, but mainly did Spider Verse. So, yeah, the classic suit looks really good. Like compared to Peter's,
Yeah.
like the final shot, like the different. Oh, looks so good.
Yeah. I recreated. I took a picture in 2018 when it first came out of Peter just jumping off of the Avengers Tower and capturing, like, doing a selfie and capturing the A in the background, and I recreated it in Miles Morales, and this looks so goddamn good.
Mhm.
It's just, oh god, I just love it.
It
so
was also
much.
weird not seeing the Chrysler building in this game.
It is.
Yeah, Andrew pointed that out to me, and I was just like, oh, I didn't even really pay attention to that. But
Because,
But
you
you're
know,
a resident New Yorker.
I mean, yeah, but like like I said, I didn't even really pay attention to that.
because it's contractual obligation that you have to jump off the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building in a Spider-Man game like that. When you buy the game, it's expected of
Mhm.
you.
Uh.
So
It's on the back of the box.
yeah, like you have to jump off the highest point in New York.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't do either of those things. I just did the.
Well, go do that. Go boot up Miles.
I'm gonna do it right
and
now. I'm gonna
Go
do it right
jump
now.
off
Okay.
the Empire State Building. You
Okay.
have to.
I got you. I don't know if you heard that. That's PS5.
I heard the beep.
Okay. All right. Did we have anything else we wanted to say before we sign off?
I liked the Vulture fight in this game. I thought it
Yeah,
was fun, especially
was
with
really
Peter
fun.
voicing Vulture. I thought that was really good.
The second
Uh,
Vulture was pretty funny too.
And also, I didn't hate the new face. That's probably the biggest positive I can give this game is I did not hate the new Peter face.
Now, I had a bit of a problem with it, but it wasn't in the game that much, so I didn't really like. I didn't like it, but it was, you know. I
I
think
played
it's
2018 Spider-Man. It looked amazing.
See, I booted up 2018 Spider-Man just to get the trophies for it, and I was really upset that they changed his face.
It's not
Really?
it's not a terrible new face. It looks really good.
It looks
I will
really
say that.
good.
His
It's
face
such a
looks
good
really
face.
good.
It's just like we've said before. Now he looks the same age as Miles, and it just drives me nuts. I don't like it. But
I
hey,
don't think so.
I'd rather him look a little young than like a goblin.
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
dare you? How dare you? All right,
But who looks like a goblin? What Peter looks like a goblin?
2018.
The 2018
not.
original Peter.
No,
He
No,
was
he doesn't.
hideous.
those eyes
was
bulge out a
handsome.
little, but that's about
He
it.
was
You know,
handsome.
yeah,
No,
Y'all
he was
just
disgusting.
haters.
it is what it is.
He was not disgusting.
No.
Easy there with the hyperbole.
He wasn't disgusting. He wasn't disgusting. Nick, did you have anything else you wanted to add before we sign off?
I really like the beginning of the Miles Morales. Peter or Miles tried to drink the coffee upside down, but at the very end he nailed it.
Yeah,
Loved. I loved that.
that was really
Oh,
good.
I loved it so much. I loved it.
Okay, Ryan, anything you want to add?
This new Peter face is what we needed. It's fantastic. And my favorite part of this game was the suit up scene with him and Genki when they were testing out the new suit.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that scene.
There was one scene that I liked. Well, I would say the whole Spider-Man intro that him and Peter are doing in the beginning was really fun. I liked the riffs. Ah, God. You just hearing Peter saying, "Hey, Alexi, what's your favorite Christmas song?" Pre-1965, I think he said, and I was just like, "What the fuck? That's just so random." But like, it was really good. Like, Insomniac knows what they're doing, and I'm excited for the sequel, and excited for more Spider-Man.
Oh, shout out to the Rhino's red suit.
Oh,
Red
yes,
suit Rhino.
Yeah.
Was dope as hell.
Yeah.
That's a good looking suit.
He was a pain in the ass as a
That
boss,
was
but he was really
That was a fun boss fight. That was a really fun boss fight.
okay. Let's do some plugs. Nick, where can people find you?
On Instagram at that strong nerd.
It's right up top. You can see it up top from your
Mhm.
screen. Eric, where can people find you? No, the other side. There we go. No.
All right, right here in this general vicinity
Yeah.
is where you can find me on Twitter. I will have stuff with words coming out. I will
okay.
have our penultimate conquest Miles review up soon. I'm just finishing up some stuff, and personal things have happened, so I haven't been able to upload it, but hopefully I can get that up soon. Also, I cannot believe we went this whole episode without talking about JJ and how great he is.
God,
still in the
JJ
game.
is so great.
And I like the new girl they got too. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Danny, the Danny cast.
Yeah, Danica.
Mhm.
I thought she was great. It was a nice difference between her and Jay. I also love that one where they had her debate Jay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
essentially it was so good. And I like JJ when like Spider-Man 2 JJ, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 JJ. It was great, especially his moment when he realized that Spider-Man is a hero, stuff like that. But I also love it when JJ gets freaking crazy
Yeah.
and just hates on Spider-Man for
It's the
no
best.
reason.
It is the
Like,
best.
That's what makes JJ so great. Like he could be anything you want him to be. And so yeah, definitely JJ.
The Greek salad ending.
Oh,
was so good.
So good. But yeah, Miles Morales is a game that everyone should play. And yes.
Shout out to the scene where he's trying to figure out what to call Spider-Man in the beginning, and he's dressed up as Santa Claus, and he's like, I forget what he says, but as soon as as soon as Spider-Man passes by, he just finds the words that he needs. Ryan, where can people find you?
People can find me at Ryan the Lion 97 on Twitter. Right,
Bottom.
that way.
There
One
you
of
go.
these ways.
No, the other
That
way.
way. Yeah.
The other
There
way.
you go.
Yeah.
If I point both ways, one of my fingers is going to be pointing
That
at
way's nice.
I mean, yeah, but okay. I guess you're right. You could find me. Sorry.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No. As my
Okay.
usual, just find me at Twitter there for hot takes.
Okay.
There we go.
You could find me on Twitter at PenConquest. You could find us if you're watching on Twitch. You could find us at Penultimate Conquest on Twitch. You could find us on YouTube, where this will go tomorrow. be uploaded tomorrow. The Penultimate Conquest. Nick, what's your YouTube page? You forgot already.
Fear Nick G.
There you go. All right. Making sure you
Don't ask.
got to keep you on your toes. This week is going to be a hell of a week. We have the Game Awards coming on Thursday. We have Cyberpunk coming out on Thursday. We have Attack on Titan started yesterday, which I still have to watch. We will be doing, I figured we'd just do episode 1 and 2 recap discussion, Ryan, on Sunday.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Is that the show with the Dragon Balls, right?
Oh, God, Eric.
Yes.
That's the
Yes,
show with
yes,
the
it
Dragon
is.
Balls. Yeah. And we also have, no, I think that's it. I'll be doing some Let's Plays of Assassin's Creed this week. That will be up on Twitch Tuesday. I want to say Wednesday as well. Yeah, looking forward to that. Thank you for joining us. The one person that's watching on Twitch. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, that's you. Is it really? Well, thank you, Nick, for joining. Next, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.
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 Nick, keep slinging that meat.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot about that.